Alright, you guys, this is Blake Jennings, B&K Sports Lounge, back at it again. We're doing top fives, and today we're going to go at tight end. I love this position. I think this is one of the most underappreciated positions in all of football. If you look at the greatest teams in today's game, almost all of them got good tight ends. Out of my top five today, 3 of those tight ends were also in my top 5 quarterback list. So the 3 best quarterbacks I had, all 3 of those teams also have top 5 tight ends. I mean, it's such a hard position to cover. I mean, you put a safety on a tight end, they're not physical enough. If you put a linebacker on a tight end, they're not fast enough. I mean, how do you truly cover these guys? So let's go ahead and get this list started at number 5. It was really hard for me to pick a number 5 tight end strictly because, look, the top 4, these are the next generation tight ends. At my number 5 position, this is kind of last generation's tight end. So, I mean, to me, it was a battle between the Jason Wittens, Antonio Gates, even, you can throw in like a Tony Gonzalez in there, for example, but I went ahead and went with Jason Witten. I feel like he's got the most left in the tank. Antonio Gates, every year, it's just, quite frankly, it's a health factor. Can Antonio Gates stay healthy? And, with the aging thing, with Phillip Rivers, I mean, he's kind of going on the slump of his career. I don't know if he can really get back on that hot streak. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know Phillip Rivers has it in him, but when push comes to shove, is he going to get it done? But like I said, I'm going with Jason Witten. I do like Twinderolo. I like Jason Witten. He's a very good blocking tight end, but going off strictly off numbers, I like Jason Witten at number 5, and I feel like he's going to be the number 5 tight end going into the 2012-2013 season. At number 4, Jermichael Finley. Out of my top 4, these are next generation guys. I feel like Jermichael Finley is going to be a great one. I mean, he's got the physical size of a beast. The only thing I don't like about Jermichael Finley is his hands can be inconsistent at times. We've got to make the catch every time. You look at last generation's tight ends, Antonio Gonzalez, Jason Wittens, Antonio Gates. Those guys had soft hands. They never dropped that ball. And of course, they were all big physical receivers, or tight ends, but they're receivers too. But Jermichael Finley, I like him at number 4. Number 3. This list may raise a few eyebrows, maybe quite a few shockers, but at number 3, I like Jimmy Graham. Feels like this guy should be number 1. Why he's not? Again, this is all opinion based. This is my opinion. Top 5 tight end 20 next year. After that huge season Jimmy Graham had, I feel like it's going to be a sophomore slump kind of thing. I know he's been in the league longer than 2 years, but I mean, last year was his truly just breakout, remarkable year. And I feel like he's going to have a hard time following up with that. So, but again, Jimmy Graham, he's still going to do good. I mean, if he has 900 to 1,000 yards, that's going to be an off year for Jimmy Graham. So, still, 900 to 1,000 yards is better than 80% of the tight ends in today's game. I still like Jimmy Graham at number 3. I just don't see him doing all the things he did last year, because what he did last year is truly remarkable. Number 2, I like Vernon Davis. He is, I feel like, out of all the top 4, I feel like he is the most physically gifted. And, I know Jermichael Finley, beast for his size. Even Jimmy Graham, even Rob Gronkowski, they're all big guys. But I feel like athleticism, Vernon Davis is the most physically inclined out of all of them. And then, he's a leader. And, with Alex Smith coming on, I mean, Alex Smith, he really showed he is not a first-round bust. I don't know why it took him this long to really get to where he is now, but, Alex Smith showed some promise last year, especially in the playoffs. I feel like Vernon Davis, even though they did get Randy Moss, and of course, they got Michael Crabtree a few years, I still feel like Vernon Davis is going to be the go-to guy. I feel like he's going to create a lot of problems. And, even with Michael Crabtree, Randy Moss, it's going to take a lot of attention off Vernon Davis. I really think he's going to do some huge things next year. And my number 1, Rob Gronkowski. Look, Tony Romo, is Wes Welker going to get a deal done? I don't know whether he does or not. He's Tom Brady's go-to guy, and you've seen with Randy Moss what he did a few years back, the record-breaking touchdowns in a season. I mean, when Tom Brady really gets dialed in on that one guy, it's just amazing of what he can do. He led the league in receiving yards last year, and I really like Rob Gronkowski at this number 1 spot. And again, why some guys weren't on my top 5's list, it's either an age factor, can he stay healthy factor, and again, no surprise here. All 5 of these tight ends have great quarterbacks. 4 of the top 5 went to the playoffs. 3 out of the top 5 went deep into the playoffs. 3 out of the top 5s were my top 3 quarterbacks. It's just today's game, the tight end position has changed so much. It's became, where it used to be a tight end was mainly there for blocking, but because we are in a passing league, these tight ends are, they are receivers. They're just bigger receivers. And, if in today's game, if you can't catch a tight end, you can't play tight end. It doesn't matter how good you can block. You are not made to play tight end. If you're not an athlete, you are not made to play tight end. And I mean, and it's such an underappreciated position. I mean, you think, oh, you got to have a good quarterback, you have to have good receivers, and of course, it starts in the trenches. You got to have an O-line, D-line. Never hurts to have, good linebackers like, Ray Lewis, the Patrick Willis's, the Brian Urlachers. Those are the quarterbacks of the defense. And then, this is a passing league. You got to have the DBs to stop it. Everyone's forgetting about the tight ends. I know some bad teams that have good quarterbacks. Not many, but I mean, like Cam Newton. He had a really good year last year. Panthers didn't do anything. And then, same with running backs. Maurice Jones-Drew, Jaguars, didn't do anything. Receivers, I mean, Larry Fitzgerald, DBs. I mean, you can go all day. But these tight ends, the great tight ends in today's game, there's a common factor here. They play on good teams. I like tight end position, and again, top 5, Jason Witten, number 5, Jermichael Finley, Jimmy Graham, Vernon Davis, Rob Gronkowski. This is Blake Jennings, B&K Sports Sounds. I'm signing out. Top 5 defensive linemen. I can do offensive linemen. If you want me to do offensive linemen, please let me know. But just because it's such a boring position in everyone's mind, I'm not going to do it. But if you want me to do it, I can and I will. Let me know if you want me to do it. Other than that, top 5 defensive linemen coming at you live and direct. B&K Sports Sounds. Blake Jennings. I'm signing out.